Maspuka, Zachariah 2, 6, 7. Ho, en vlucht uit het land van het noorden, verklaart Yahuah. Want ik heb je verspreid als de 4 winden van Shamaim, verklaart Yahuah. Bevrijd jezelf, o Sion, die bij de dochter van Babylon woont. Yahuah 51, 7. Babylon, akka Amerika, was een gouden beker in Yahuah's hand, die de hele aarde dronken maakte. De naties hebben gedronken van haar wijn. Daarom zijn de naties krankzinnig en gestoord. Yahuah 51, 6. Vlucht uit het midden van Babylon en bevrijd ieder mens zijn ziel. Word niet afgesneden in haar onrechtvaardigheid.
Shalom everyone. In the birth canal, a nation born. Wow. This is a message that is like a preview of where the Most High will have me going in the future. I told you the message will turn. This one is, this message here, the Most High gave to me months ago. I'm trying to get caught up. I am behind, but even though he gave me this months ago, this lines up with what he's giving me now. And this is like it's a preview to where the messages will be going when they take a turn. And we're talking about in the birth canal. What is a birth canal? A birth canal is the way that whatever's being born must go through before it's born. And we know a mother and a child, the birth canal, the baby goes through the mom and the baby goes through the birth canal and the baby comes out, the baby is born. But now we're talking here a nation born. And of course this nation is Yahuah. How is it? How can a nation, thousands of people, how can this happen? How can a nation be born in just one day? This is something, once again, how people, for what? I don't know. We don't talk about this. We don't think about this. We are focused on other things. But this, we're not focused on. And see, this is a problem. This is a problem. You see on the screen, Yahuah will rise up. Yes, Yahuah will rise up. This nation will be born. This nation will no doubt become strong and powerful. As in the days of old. It will happen with or without who's ever listening. I know definitely without the rebels, those that rebel against Yahuah. But let's talk about this. In the birth canal, a nation born. Isaiah 46 and 3. He says, listen to me, O house of Jacob. Listen to me. That's what he's saying. Listen. We don't listen to him. We will listen to man, but we won't listen to him. Why? Why we won't listen to him? We don't even understand when he speak. It's unbelievable. We don't understand when he speak. He said, listen to me, house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Yahuah. Okay, he's speaking with Jacob and all the house of the remnant of Yahuah. Remember, we're talking, there's only a remnant going to make it. There's only a righteous remnant. He says, who have been upheld by me from birth. So he's saying he uphold us from birth. Who have been carried from the womb. And we know he's taking care of those that keep his commandments. Ezekiel 38 and 8. He says, after many days, remember, he said, listen to me. He's still speaking. After many days, you will be visited. And yes, he visited his people. This is something that happened. He awakened us. We didn't awaken ourselves. We was the dry bones in Christianity, in the Christian churches, believing the law is done away with, profaning the Shabbat, profaning his name. We was doing all these abominations, eating things, sacrifice, offered to devils. This was us. This is what we did. We done those things. He says, in the latter years, you will come into the land of those brought back from the sword and gathered from many people, on the mountains of Yasharal. We're going to be gathered, brought back and gathered on the mountains of Yasharal, which had been desolate. They were brought out of the nations, and now all of them dwell safely. Okay, after being brought out from the nations, all of them will dwell safely. No one today over there, they think they're dwelling safely, but they are not. They're not fulfilling this. This is not the time. And I want to mention, gather from the people on the mountains of Yasharal. Yasharal, the land of Yasharal, something I don't think I've ever spoke of. We flew over this land in a plane. Of course, I never stepped foot in it, but we flew over this land. And when we flew over this land, I was just looking down at the land and looking at all those hills. There were many, many hills, and the lights that was on those hills, it was unbelievable. And I was like, these are the mountains of Yasharal. These are the hills. These are the valleys. This is what the scripture was speaking of. It is many, many mountains and many, many hills. Jeremiah 30:3, for behold, the days are coming, says Yahuah, I will bring back to captivity my people Yasharal and Yehudah, says Yahuah, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. He will cause, I told you, I explained to you in previous videos what cause means. He's going to cause us to return. This is something we have to do. We had to return, and if you don't return, you will remain in the land of your captivity. This is how he delivered his people, and many people don't understand this. And this whole process has everything to do with being in this birth canal. I'm going to talk about this birth canal in a minute. It has everything to do with being in this birth canal and a nation being born. It says, now will cause them to return to the land that I gave their fathers. This is about the promise he made to our forefathers. But our people, once again, we don't think anything about that promise. We don't listen to him. We're steady listening to man. Now, how did we do this? How do we know that we are to return on our own? Zechariah 2:7, and I mentioned this many times. This is how we do it. Deliver, I'm going to read this very slowly. I'm reading this slowly for the rebels. This is for the rebels. They're drunk, okay? So let me take it slowly. Deliver yourself. You need to deliver yourself, you rebel. And if not, you will partake of her sins and of her plagues. You will be destroyed. He says, deliver yourself, O Zion, that dwells with the daughter of Babylon. Deliver yourself. This is how you get back within those lands. This is how you get in position. This is how you get in the birth canal. Very simple. Very, very simple. To do nothing is to stay outside of what he had, and whatever's coming, remember, they didn't hearken unto his voice. The last video I did, they didn't hearken unto his voice, so great wrath comes. If you don't listen to him, great wrath will come. And only man will tell you to stay in the land of your captivity, stay right here where you are, and wait for the Most High. He never said that. He never commanded that. Psalms 14:7 says, oh, that the salvation of Yasharal would come out of Zion. This is what our people don't understand. Salvation, we're being told where the salvation of Yasharal coming from. It comes out of Zion, within his borders. Anything outside of his borders, you are on, I hate to say it, you're on your own. When Yahuah brings back the captivity of his people, how did he bring back the captivity of his people? He sent out a command. He wakened his people, and he called them. He told Ezekiel, can these dry bones live? He said, Yahuah, you know. And he said, cause these bones to live. Cause flesh to come on their body. And he entered spirit into them, and they stood up and became a living. This is the nation that we're talking about. This is the whole house of Yasharal. So he called these people out, told them to come out, get back. Remember Zion, get back within the borders, my land. I will only protect those that's found within my land and within my borders. He says, yet Jacob rejoice and Yasharal be glad. This is what the scripture is saying here. Isaiah 46:13, he says, I will bring my righteousness near. He's telling us his righteousness was far because we was cut off and pushed away. We was far. And he says, I will bring my righteousness near. It shall not be far off. My salvation shall not linger. Remember, salvation is in Zion. And I will place salvation in Zion for Yasharal, my splendor. Who is he placing salvation in Zion for? For Christians. No, not for Christians. They don't understand this. He never called anyone to be a Christian. Anyone called themselves a Christian, I don't care if it's pre-Constantine Christian, whatever Christian, you are following man. The Most High on Judgment Day, He's going to say, when did I told you to become a Christian? And these people will look dumbfounded. I've asked Christians questions. Where in the Bible did the Most High call us to be Christians? And no one can give me an answer. Just like I put forth, where did the Most High say Babylon is everywhere? And I still, to this day, have not yet gotten a scripture that said Babylon is everywhere from these rebels. You can't flee Babylon. It's everywhere. Babylon is spiritual. Where? What scripture? No one have yet. I haven't given an update on it. I guess this is an update. No one have yet given me a scripture that Babylon is spiritual and Babylon is everywhere. Why? It's not in there. It did not come out the mouth of the Father. It came from the mouth of man. Okay. Isaiah 66:8. It says this. Who has heard such a thing? We've been asked a couple questions here. Who has seen such things? Shall the earth be made to give birth in one day? Or shall a nation be born at once? This is impossible. Thousands of people cannot, hundreds of thousands of people cannot be born at once. This is impossible. For as soon as Zion was in labor, now we understand the birth canal. Zion is in labor. She gave birth to her children. Okay, this birth canal is his borders. And right now, Yasharal is coming back within his border. Many of us are within his borders in the birth canal. And then the nation shall be born. But it's asking a question, who've heard such a thing? Who have seen? We've never seen this before. Make sure we understand this. We've never seen this before. Not many people, even in the truth, in Christianity, is not talking about this. Shall the earth be made to give birth in one day? How is this land going to give birth in one day? Isaiah 49:6. Indeed, he says, is it a small thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserved ones of Yasharal? He says, I will give you as a light to Gui. Yasharal is to be the light to Gui, that you should be my salvation to the ends of the earth. And this is Enoch 38. And I'm going to have to move quickly here. When the congregation of the righteous shall appear, and I went over this before, then all the sinners shall be judged for their sins and shall be driven from the face of the earth. This is what has to happen. The righteous appear first, and then the sinners will be judged and driven from the face of the earth. It says, and when the righteous one shall appear before the eyes of the righteous, whose elect works hang upon Yahuah, and the light shall appear to the righteous and the elect who dwell on the earth. Then where will be the dwelling place for the sinners? So when the righteous come first, when this nation be born, where is the place for the sinners? There will be no place for the sinners. It says, where the resting place of those who denied Yahuah? They denied him, and they worked iniquity. It says, when the secrets of the righteous shall be revealed, and the sinners judged, and the unrighteous driven from the presence of the righteous and the elect. For the time of those that possess it, listen, for that time, those who possess the earth shall no longer be powerful. The powers that be, they will no longer possess the earth, be powerful and exalted. And they shall not be able to behold the face of the Kadash, for Yahuah has caused the light to appear on the face of the righteous and elect. So it's saying these mighty, powerful kings, they're going to perish before the earth, and the righteous shall rise, the nation being born. Now let me show you this birth canal. What you're looking at right now, this is the birth canal. And when this nation come within this birth canal, this nation is in the position to be nurtured by the Most High, and this nation will be born, it says, in a day, in a moment. This is how a nation is born, in a day. Shalom.